So let's talk about something that just landed. OpenAI dropped a new version of GPT-5, but this one's different. It's not just another LLM bump. This one's specifically trained for code, and they're calling it GPT-5-Codex. Right now, it's living inside their Codex environment. And yeah, you can run it in your terminal, use it in an IDE, or fire it up on the web. Wherever you code, it kind of fits. Now, I'll say right up front, this isn't just about running a bigger model. Codex is specialized, and honestly, the first thing that stood out is how much better it is at code reviews compared to the older versions. Like, this is finally tuned for coding work, not just chatting or answering trivia. If you've used GPT-5 at high settings before, you'll still notice Codex does actual dev tasks better, especially when the code gets real. Just real quick, I'm Daniel. I've been building iOS apps for nearly 8 years now, mostly as a freelancer, helping clients ship their ideas. Since Dub 25, though, I've gone all in on solo dev. I've launched 10 plus apps of my own, started sharing everything in public, and lately I've been building Crafters Lab, a real home for solo crafters and AI-powered devs who see AI as a teammate, not just a code vending machine. That's where I share articles, design resources, and source code. Everything I used to post on Patreon, now moving over to our own indie platform. It's private, it's built for solo devs who actually care about their craft. If you're one of the 260 on Patreon already, let's get ready to move over to crafterslab.dev. All right, let's dive in. So here's what really caught my eye. This thing isn't just smarter at code review, it's built for it. And when you throw complex tasks at it, it doesn't tap out after a couple minutes. Codex can actually run independently for more than 7 hours on a single session. Yeah, long horizon, multi-step coding jobs are finally in reach. If you're still catching up, what is GPT-5-Codex anyway? It's not just a tweak. This is a specialized, optimized build of GPT-5. They really need to work on their naming, honestly. But the core idea is this. Codex is trained for real-world software engineering workflows. And as you'll see, it's not just for show. They really put the focus on coding tasks, reviews, long jobs, the stuff we actually care about. So here's the nice part. Codex is everywhere now. There's a cloud version inside ChatGPT, a dedicated code review version, and you can grab it through the CLI or IDE extension. I've seen it pop up in VS Code and Cursor so far, and you don't need a special subscription. If you're on Plus, Pro, Business, Education, or Enterprise, you're in. No extra charge. There are rate limits, sure, but honestly, they're pretty generous. Haven't hit one yet, even after a long day bouncing between projects. Let's take a second for the benchmarks. They ran Codex on the SWE bench verified benchmark. Results? It's a couple percentage points better than regular GPT-5 on high settings. And here's a quirk. For years, OpenAI only tested on 477 out of 500 SWE bench questions. Now they're finally running all 500, and you can actually see GPT-5 high score drop for those last 23 questions. Apparently, both GPT-5 and Codex kind of struggle on those tough ones. But honestly, it's good to see the full set getting used. But the big win? Code refactoring. On those tasks, Codex is easily 50% better than GPT-5 on high settings. That's not marketing. That's just better dev output, especially when you're trying to modernize a project or bring old code up to speed. Now, this next bit, this is what I think actually shifts the way these agents fit into our workflow. They showed a chart that really nails it. For the bottom 10% of user requests, the quick, simple stuff, Codex uses 94% fewer tokens than GPT-5. Basically, it doesn't waste time or budget on easy asks. But for the hardest 10%, Codex spends double the tokens, taking more time, running more edits, testing, and really trying to get it right. The model now dynamically chooses how much effort to spend based on task complexity. So if it's an easy rename, it flies. If it's a gnarly migration, it slows down and really digs in. That's the promise of GPT-5 level models. They aren't just fast, they're smart about when to go deep. Dynamic routing isn't just a buzzword. It means you don't have to prompt engineer, take your time, think slow. It just works. So here's what you get: two essential skills in one model. First, it pairs with you in interactive sessions. Basically, you can chat and build together, but you can also offload whole jobs and let Codex run them independently, even in the cloud, for as long as it needs. The best part is you can start something locally in the CLI, then offload it to the cloud version. The handoff is seamless, and honestly, it's a nice upgrade for solo devs who like to switch between environments. And yeah, they doubled down on code reviews. Codex is trained to find critical flaws, navigate your whole code base, reason through dependencies, and even run your tests. It's not just scanning text. It's trying to validate your code, not just rubber stamp it. Personally, I'm used to using Claude code for this kind of thing, but after seeing how Codex is performing, I'm definitely going to give it a spin. The internal benchmarks, the number of incorrect comments during code review dropped from 13% to almost 4%. High impact comments went up, and the average comments per PR actually went down. So less noise, more value. And don't worry, Codex always runs in a sandbox by default with no network access. So it's not going to do anything wild to your machine. It's a similar pattern to what Claude Code and Gemini CLI use, which is the right move, honestly. For the first time, I actually trust an agent to touch my local files without sweating bullets. So the updates are live in Codex CLI right now and in IDEs like VS Code and Cursor. From what I'm hearing, the CLI version feels the most pure, but depending on your setup, your experience might vary. I'm planning to try both and see where the sweet spot is for iOS work. People who had early access are into it, and a few early testers are calling out two big things: dynamic thinking time, which now seems standard, and local to web handoff. Your agent stays with you wherever you use it. That's huge. You start a refactor in CLI, finish in the web version, and context just comes along for the ride. Price-wise, it's simple. If you're on ChatGPT Plus, Pro, Business, or Enterprise, you're covered. Plus and Business get you a few focused sessions each week, while Pro can cover a full week across multiple projects. You probably won't hit the wall unless you're going wild with it. API access isn't here yet, but it's apparently coming soon for Codex CLI users. So yeah, I'm going to be running Codex through the CLI and in Cursor over the next few weeks just to see what's real and what's just hype. It's hard to even keep track of how many Codex versions are out now. But honestly, this one feels like a legit step up. If you're curious or you've tried it already, let me know how it's going. I'll share more once I've had time to live with it in my own Swift UI workflow. Thanks for hanging out, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.